Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So after being really quiet for the past couple of weeks, I just seem to be getting a ton of messages. While I'm talking, I'm just going to light my candle and adjust it because I forgot to do that beforehand. So what I have today is I had the song You're Not Alone by Olive stuck in my head for all morning basically. I did hear it yesterday, but this morning it just seemed to be really stuck. You're not alone, I'll wait till the end of time with you. For you, open your mind. Surely it's time to see, surely it's time to be with me. That's the words, isn't it? So whether that means something to anyone. White Flag by Dido and Alone by Alan Walker. So it's interesting, I've got two songs about being alone. So I don't know if this is something about when you're alone, you hear voices, perhaps. It could be because the song that I got specifically for this reading, I was like, what is this reading going to be about? They gave me The Voice Within by Christina Aguilera. Now, this could be quite a few different things because, you know, it's saying trust your own inner voice, trust your own inner guidance. You know, what does your heart tell you? What are your emotions saying about this? What are your instincts saying? You know, trust your gut kind of thing. It has another meaning for me because my mum passed away recently, and the very first time I asked for a song from her, I was like, Mum, give me a song. That's the song that I got. So you can imagine the floods of tears that came with that. Young girl, don't cry. I'll be right here with you when things get hard, you know? So maybe somebody is possibly, sorry, I'm still going on the joss sticks. Maybe somebody has lost somebody, and, you know, they sense the presence around them. They think that, you know, they hear this person's voice, possibly. I want to say, you know, if you're stressed about that, if you I don't know, worried about that for some reason, then, you know, what's the harm in that? If you love this person, if they're saying nice things to you, then you know, roll with it. It's a nice thing, trust it. I want to say though, there was something about, I've been getting a lot of stuff about like split personality disorder, schizophrenia, these kind of topics. I've been looking it up a little bit on YouTube as well. In yesterday's reading, I had this thing about, what's his name? American Psycho and Black Swan, right, with this like fractured personality thing. So I was doing some yoga before this reading, and I was there doing the downward dog, as you do, you know, child's pose, and just my mind wandered back to the reading and back to the voice within. And I recently watched the film Venom as well, with the it's kind of like this, if you don't know the premise of Venom, it's a superhero movie. It's kind of like a Spider-Man type film, but this alien comes down to Earth and it attaches itself. It's symbiotic, so it needs the person to be able to exist, you know, to survive on the planet, and they have to find the right person and it has to match. So this guy Eddie, nice guy Eddie, ends up with this alien attached to him, but this alien is from like a kind of like a warring planet, almost like Predator, you know, the Predator movie. It's a fighter, right? But it needs a specific thing to eat to survive, basically, because of the symbiotic relationship. They need this specific resource for the bodies to continue to be able to meld, and this thing, it can be found in chocolate, but it can also be found in heads. So this venom, it always wants to eat people's heads, and Eddie's like, no, you can't do that. So I don't know if somebody has this kind of thing going on with them, like maybe some kind of like it could be even like angel and devil on your shoulder, right? Your own conscious, you know, saying, like, go on Eddie, do it. And they're like, no, don't do it, Eddie. You know, you may have this kind of, you know, your own Jiminy Crickets, you know, telling you to do things or not do things. I don't know, right? I am not a psychologist. I'm not trained to diagnose these things. I don't know. It's just a theme that keeps coming up in my readings. I want to say it makes sense that it's coming up in the readings because hi, I do hear voices. And you know, you do, when you have an awakening and these things kind of activate, you do sit there going, am I crazy? What does this mean? And there is a lot of fear that comes up around it. So I want to say that if sorry, before I continue, like going back, doing yoga, doing the downward dog, thinking about this, thinking about the film Venom, thinking about this, like, you know, maybe somebody has schizophrenia or a split personality disorder, and there's no shame in that, right? We all go through different issues. You know, it's important to get the right help. It's important to get the right information about it. It's important to find your own comfort zone when dealing with literally whatever life throws at you, right? So, you know, we all have to adapt and adjust when life throws us like lemons, right? But again, it's like, is it really a lemon, or is this something that you can adapt to? Again, like Eddie and Venom, you know, they actually balance out and find a way to coexist in interesting ways. Maybe that's not the best. Maybe that's not the best example, but maybe somebody needs to hear that they're not a monster, right? Maybe somebody's like, am I a monster? What does this mean? Maybe somebody, I think it's the sort of thing as well where sometimes when you say you've got some kind of mental health issue, you know, it can be scary to people. It can make people take a step back or keep you at arm's length. But there's another thing as well with that where, you know, because I'm a tarot reader, I'm psychic, it still feels weird to kind of say that, but 100%, like, I get told stuff and then I literally see it play out, like the evidence is there, right, in real life. For example, squirrels. I had a dream about squirrels last night, came downstairs this morning and my son was watching a YouTube channel about this guy who builds things for squirrels. Like he used to watch it ages ago, but he's not watched it for a while, and then all of a sudden today, after I have a dream about squirrels, he's watching squirrels. So there you are. But yeah, to confirm again, like getting psychic information and then having the confirmation in the real world. I'm there doing the downward dog, doing my child's pose, look to my left, and literally this must be from about 2 weeks ago when I did that set of shorts. There was 2 tarot cards underneath my table, and like I've tidied, I've hoovered, I checked to see if there were tarot cards there, and you know, for some reason they escaped my notice. But when I'm thinking about split personalities and things like this, I see these cards, turn them over and look at that card. So this card, the first time I used it, it came with, the first time I ever saw this card, it came in with a message of maybe somebody has schizophrenia, or maybe somebody has like a fractured personality in some sort of way. Again, I'm not medically trained to be able to diagnose these things. I'm just reading the cards. So if this is resonating for you, if this feels like it could be something that you need to investigate further, please go and get professional advice on that. I am not medically trained to say this. But yeah, it came in with this song. It was actually the Nirvana cover of a David Bowie song. We passed upon the stairs. And I always see him looking in a mirror at that part of the song. We passed upon the stairs. So seeing himself in a mirror, seeing himself reflected, having a discussion with himself. So yeah, it does talk about kind of like doppelganger type thing, or like, you know, I thought you died a long time ago. No, I'm still here. So it's like maybe seeing a past life version of yourself or something, maybe in dreams. I don't know, right? It's interesting though that I did have this come up 2 readings ago with the kind of the Catherine in the mirror that I was talking about. So where are we with this? What is not aligned, or what needs to change? So where, I want to say for most people, you know, sort of mental health issues aside, this is saying, where are you not being authentic? Where are you not being your true self? Where are you not really like truly bringing whatever's inside outside, right? Where are you faking it in your life? And having to wear a mask, does this cause you to you know, again, like the communal shadow, Carl Jung's communal shadow, are you repressing certain aspects of your nature in order to fit in with a certain role or a certain group? That's very unhealthy, because what happens is these natural urges, when they're suppressed, they rupture in unhealthy ways. So this could be, again, whatever the devil card represents for you. So it could be addictions, obsessions, you know, drinking problems, smoking problems. It's like, do you fall back on an old habit? Do you fall back into some kind of toxic cycle because you're suppressing some kind of parts of your nature or parts of the self that really want to come out and be expressed? And that's all it is, really. And again, it's talking about we all have certain urges, certain like ideas, certain issues, but when we don't have an output for them, that's when they start to cause us problems. So you may want to express this part of your nature through poetry, through acting, through writing, through journaling, through you know, active dreaming, you know, meditation, and you know, kind of like actively fantasizing about certain things. I want to say that nothing's really bad unless you act on it. So I want to go, again, not medically trained, go and get professional help if you feel like you need it. But I think I'm very, very lucky that the voices that I hear, the messages that I get, the things that the visions that I'm given. I don't think I have schizophrenia, by the way. I've kind of been looking into it, like, is that what I have? And it doesn't sound like, when I've heard people's experiences, I'm like, that doesn't sound like my experience. I think I actually do have spirit guides. Like, the people who are crazy don't know the crazy, right? But again, like, the evidence is there in the physical world. I get information, I get the squirrels, and then the evidence is there. So the way it plays out for me is like, well, I get the evidence, you know, scientific proof. But yeah, I'm very, very lucky that my guides, you know, the voices in my head, if you want to say it that way, are very, very nice and very, very funny. An example is I was taking my son to school this morning, and these two young men, maybe in the 20s, like they were like workers, like builders or something, in this big white van, kind of came swinging around, flying into this, it was like the entrance to like a little like a driveway entrance to a place, and they were just turning around on a busy road, but the way that they came flying in was just so kind of I mean, it was like they didn't particularly do anything dangerous. It wasn't like I was close to the road at the time, but they just kind of swung in with this kind of like happy-go-lucky attitude. And I looked at them, and they were kind of like laughing amongst themselves in this van. And in my head I heard, the marvelous man in the flying machines, they go. So it was like, and it sounded like a man's voice. I don't know if it was my granddad, but that's the kind of like, it was a joke. It was like making fun, like, haha, these young lads swinging in, the marvelous man in the flight, you know, it's like a granddad joke. So I never hear anything horrible. I never hear anything that's like, you know, they're never telling me to do anything awful or anything like that. Like, and even if they were, I'd be like, oh, what's that about? You know, I don't feel like, you know, if you're hearing things, it's not like you have to act on them anyway, you know, no matter what you're hearing. But yeah, I normally hear like daft jokes, and normally they're making fun of me, actually. Normally they're making a joke at my expense. So in a very good humoured way. So I don't know, maybe I am connecting with somebody who is experiencing or maybe they're trying to figure it out, like, what am I experiencing here? Maybe researching, you know, schizophrenic, like, sorry, my video cut out. So like maybe and I don't want to shy away from this as well. If they're giving me something that's serious to talk about, I don't want to shy away from it. I want to, you know, if this is the information that they're giving me, if this is what they want me to talk about, I want to come and talk about it. I'm not going to shy away from that, right? And yes, I may say things, again, not medically trained, I may say things that aren't quite right. Again, this is the thing, it doesn't matter who or what is saying something to you. You have to trust the voice within, which is your soul speaking. You know, what are your core values? What does your instinct say? You know, that's really important. Funny thing as well, with the words that I pulled out here as well, wandered, rapture, outpatience. So I don't know what they all mean to you, but the word rapture, which is interesting, it's in pink. It always makes me think of that Blondie song. again, it makes me think of David Bowie. I don't know why. Rapture. Is it David? I'm gonna have to Google it. But it does talk about like an alien coming down, and now he only eats guitars, right? He used to eat people and cars, but now he only eats guitars. So again, it's got that kind of like Venom thing of like, I don't know, there's a similarity. Do you see the pattern? So where are we? Rapture, Blondie. Maybe it just makes me think of David Bowie because he has that kind of like spaceman like thing to him, right? I don't know. I don't know why I have that association in my mind. I'm just kind of Googling it here now. There's a mashup between two of their songs. No, I don't know why I have that association. Again, I'm going to call myself out if I get something wrong. There's another card under here as well. I don't know if it's significant or not, but it's deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. So you want to say that when you have, whether it's a mental health disorder or not, when you feel like you're fractured, when you feel like you're feeling very scattered, it is really important to make the time to replenish yourself, to do the self-care. The funny thing for me is, again, another interesting thing to know, there's a lady on YouTube that I've been watching. She's kind of brilliant. I think she's her channel's called Living with Schizophrenia, but she says that for her, when she has substances, whatever those substances are, it makes the psychosis worse for her. And the interesting thing for me is that I didn't have anything like this until I started to get healthier. So I used to drink constantly and now I don't drink so much, and I started doing yoga, so this is a few years back, and as my health increased and as I did more yoga, as my mental health got better, that's when these things triggered for me. Now you want to talk about the part of your brain, it looks like this, I can never remember what it's called, but there's a part of your, is it pineal gland? I may be wrong, that jumped into my head, so if that's the right answer, my guides are smarter than me. So yeah, so the part of your brain that looks like this, and it is said to be the part that receives psychic messages. So you can delve deeper into that if you like. You know, things like fluoride suppress it, and you know, do brush your teeth, but you know, maybe don't be drinking toothpaste water. But yeah, like there's things that suppress it, and there's things that, you know, you want that part of your brain to be healthy. So personally, what I think happened, and again, maybe I'm crazy, but it's not doing me any harm, you know? It's not doing anyone any harm. Like, my craziness is quite a fun kind of craziness, if you know, if that's what it is. But this part of your brain, this kind of spiral-shaped part of your brain, it's it can be suppressed through things like, you know, your brain activity, the nutrients that your brain needs can be suppressed when you drink things like alcohol, and when you drink too much alcohol. So for me, if I do have a drink, and I had a drink of champagne last night, normally a lot of my psychic messages go quiet. It kind of numbs it. So apart from the squirrel dream, I didn't get anything last night. You know, the healthier I am, the more I meditate, the more I do yoga, the more I take care of my body, my health. I'm drinking green tea today. The more that this activates for me, the stronger it gets. So again, that's another sign for me that it's the opposite of what that lady on YouTube is experiencing. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I think, again, if you're feeling very scattered, if you're feeling very fractured, you know, taking the time you need to be quiet is really important. And the interesting thing as well with these songs, You're Not Alone, and Alone by Alan Walker, and The Voice Within, for me, I really need that quiet time. I really need that meditation time. I really need some time alone, especially like alone in darkness. It allows those kind of visions and things to come through, you know, as if you were trying to dream or meditate while you're awake, right? It allows me to do the meditation and to connect to, you know, the voice within for me, my soul, my core, you know, the God within. So yeah, that's what I've got so far. So I don't know whose this reading is. If nothing's resonating for you, if you're thinking, what the fuck is she talking about? Who is this woman? She needs to go and get help. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I think I'm doing all right. But maybe some of you are connecting with this reading, thinking, yes, this is my reading. This is resonating for me. If so, I'm going to continue to pull cards. We're going to kind of see what we get as we roll through. So let's just move all this over. Okay. I think there's something about your capacity as well, your capacity to be in control of yourself. If you feel like you're losing control of yourself, then that's the point where you need to, you know, when you're losing control of your own autonomy, if you feel like something's taking over you, or if you feel like, you know, you can't think clearly enough to be in control of your own actions, then that's 100% when you need to be going getting professional help and advice. But I think if you are at full capacity and you are totally you know, in control of your faculties, and you know, even if you do feel like a little bit like, oh, this is strange, you know, I'm seeing these visions, I'm hearing things, you know, if you're in control of yourself and you're healthy, I think you can take it as though you're watching a movie, right? Or as though you're, you know, just because you watch a movie, it doesn't mean that that has to have an impact on your life. You can watch it and you can disregard it. So maybe that's helpful for someone there. It's kind of what was just kind of coming through. Oh, it's 10:10. To kind of show you. I'm hoping it doesn't reflect my spotty chin. 10:10. So 10:10 on the clock there. I'm very scruffy. I need to have a shower after this reading, so like trying not to be on camera. So let's get a song for this reading. So what needs to be communicated going forward in this reading? So for the people who feel like this reading is resonating, what do we need to hear, please? Oh, an advert, great, hold on. Literally unbelievable. Oh no, you can see me. back away. So As the World Falls Down by David Bowie. So that's the really famous song from the scene in Labyrinth, where the ballroom scene from Labyrinth, where they're all coincidentally where they were all wearing masks, right? So, oh, God, I feel like I need to wear a mask today. Like, really trying to avoid getting my spotty face on camera. My hair is like just slung up in a very scruffy ponytail too from doing yoga. Yeah, so what am I just saying? David Bowie again. That's the third time, and it's strange I was getting it from that Blondie song. That is on randomized, by the way. I'm not setting this up anyway whatsoever. You know, I had it with that Nirvana song, which was a cover of a David Bowie song. Let's make a note of all these so I can put them in the description box. So As the World Falls Down, right? The World Falls Down, David Bowie, and Rapture by Blondie, and what is it? We passed upon the stairs, spoke of this and that. The Man Who Sold the World. The Man Who Sold the World. Right, there's something coming through here as well. Nirvana and David Bowie. So The Man Who Sold the World, As the World Fell Down, and then the voice within says, I'll be right here with you. It's like As the World Falls Down. She says something like that in that song as well. So maybe somebody feels like the world's falling apart. Maybe somebody's had some kind of tower moment that explains this kind of fractured thing as well. You know, everything's fallen apart for them. I want to say it's okay. You're not alone. You know, trust the voice within. Your spirit guide, your God, you know, your own higher self is guiding you through this process, and it's really important to have those moments of meditation, those moments of rest. Do the breathing exercises. The thing with this is you have to be consistent with it. So show up every morning before you go to work, every evening before you go to bed. You know, like schedule a time of the day, and like sometimes you have to literally kick your own ass and force yourself to show up on that mat or do that meditation practice, especially if you're dealing with like a low mood. You can get in a very like meh place, but it's hugely beneficial in the long run. And to do it consistently, to get in a really good habit of doing meditation or breath work, you know, the breathing work really helps with anxiety. It really helps in stressful situations. You know, practice it, because I want to say you're going to need it going forward. You know, how do you balance yourself? How do you find that connection? How do you find that? I call it the soul stone. Let me just grab my... So, yeah, I call it the soul stone. So I think, you know, inside us, normally I see it as being in the heart space. It's funny, like, look at the pattern on this card as well as I'm saying this. So this is my crystal maze. Like, if you know the Crystal Maze TV show, this is my crystal maze diamond. I'll do the crystal maze. But it's wonderful as well. Like, just to kind of show you, like, if I can maybe put this over the lens, this kind of... I do this with it a lot. I kind of put it over my eye and like do this kaleidoscope thing with it. Can you see it like there? Oh, look at that here. It's so pretty, like the candle. So it does have this kind of like, it distorts your view, right? So something about distortion of view, fracturing. So my thing is, it came through originally in a Libra reading about the diamond heart. So diamonds, they are, you know, a brilliant cut diamond. So your heart or your soul, your authentic true self, being like a seed inside you and being like a diamond. And the beautiful thing about a diamond is that it's multifaceted. So you can show different parts of yourself, a different side of yourself in a different situation. So say you are going to your parents' house, you may be on your best behavior, right? Or especially like your partner's parents' house, best behavior, manners, politeness. But then you go out with a group of your friends from high school who know you so well, who like remember all these like, you know, ridiculous things that you did together, and you might be a little bit more bawdy, you might be a little bit louder. So different sides of yourself in different situations, you know, the way you show up to work, the way you are with family, the way you are with your children, so the way you are with your you know, sexual partner. All different sides of yourself. And what can happen sometimes is that you start to play these roles in a way where you start to become inauthentic, right? You start to feel like you're wearing masks in all these different situations. And that's when problems can start. So I want to say, if you're experiencing that, it's really important to see yourself as a whole. It's not that any of these faces, any of these roles that you play, it's not that any of them are inauthentic. It's just that they're different parts of yourself, right? The different sides of yourself. So I want to say, try and see yourself as the whole piece, right? And really the beautiful thing about this is that you can shine a light through it and it's going to radiate different colours. And those different colours are your soul's colours. They're your true authentic voice within. So this is very much kind of what I'm picking up on here. So I had to buy one of these because I was like, I talk about it so much in my readings, I want to be able to demonstrate it, right? So beautiful, really, really beautiful. And being clear and being authentic and being see-through and being transparent, all these different things. I do sometimes get a reference of a almost like a mirrored diamond as well. So the surface, rather than being transparent, is reflective, so you can't see inside. So somebody who's masking, that sometimes comes through as well. So connect to that diamond heart within, connect to that soul stone. And the beautiful thing about it as well, I say that you can radiate out, you can radiate light through it. You can almost use it like a homing beacon too. You know, if you see yourself as a starseed, really kind of like radiate light from that and allow the people who match your vibration to come in and find you. So it's a grounding stone. It says no matter what situation you're in, no matter what tower moments you're facing, you know, you can reconnect to that core and find that inner strength to deal with whatever situation is coming your way. Okay, just going to take a sip of my green tea. So maybe patience is like having the patience to get through the storm. Having the patience, having the perseverance. I did a reading off camera and I may just pull the cards to explain what I was seeing. But there was a beautiful, it came through with this king energy. So I may just, if I've got time at the end, do that. The shaman in the ring. Anything else, please? I'm going to go one more time. Is there anything else from this deck that you'd like to talk about today? There's that diamond again there. Can you see it? Yeah, somebody's, feels like somebody's in the liminal. The Queen is on the bottom. So, perhaps this is talking about your dream space. Perhaps somebody is meditation and trying to astrally project. Perhaps somebody does have the ability to kind of like see beyond the veil and to receive intuitive messages. Yeah, interesting. So let's go. So let's just, how do I want to do this? Let's read the shaman first. Oh, and I almost opened it. I don't know if you saw that. I almost opened it exactly on the page, but I carried on flicking. Silly tarot reader. There it is. So already, right, excuse me, already stretching, already searching, already reaching for this. It feels like this energy of like maybe trying to astrally project, or maybe trying to project your energy outwards and trying to make a connection with somebody else. Just funny, like, I don't know, something about my hands. Maybe like trying to connect with this Queen energy. It could be a mother, could be a love interest, could be your higher self. But it's like this energy of like stretching out and reaching, projecting mentally or spiritually to try and get this, to try and find this. But it's got this grasping quality. It's got this energy of like, a little bit like, have you ever done that thing where you put your hand in a box and you have to guess what's inside it, and you can't see what's inside, but putting your hand in, a little bit like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, right? Like putting your hand in and having to feel around for the treasure, but you feel snakes and you feel, you know, things that are slimy, or you feel bone, and it's like, well, you know, you're trying to get that thing, but you're touching things that are uncomfortable to touch, perhaps. Is there something like that going on? The Magi, the Sorcerer, the Medicine Woman. 3 archetypal ingredients constitute the shaman, and all must be present in order to reveal its magic. First, the shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study. The Mentor, which is right underneath the Queen there. Second, its orientation is generously and accurately aimed towards the healing of the self, right? So it does feel like a grasping, a going within, the voice within, the trying to find, you know, the core self within. And third, the shaman has a knack for, that's the wait, hang on, where am I? I missed a bit. The healing of the self, the other, and the culture, the healer. And third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other worlds, allowing psychic visions, and it's really interesting with this bardo here, and old magic to leak into this world, the unseen, old magic. In this way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Yet where there is power, there is shadow. So the shaman must be vigilant in studying their darkness, right? The voice within, the darkness within. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. When light, fearless student and practitioner. When dark, overpromises, blames, hurts self and others. Go deeper, read Black Elk Speaks and Michael Tucker's Dreaming with Eyes Open. Contrary to popular belief, the shaman archetype appears in every vocation. Teachers, directors, surgeons, politicians and poets are just a few of the faces a shaman may wear. Unbelievable, look at that. So what was I just talking about? A few of the faces that a shaman may wear. It kind of, do you know what they just flashed up? They gave me, I'm getting a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio. They gave me that, is it called Catch Me If You Can? They're giving me information where he fakes being a pilot and things like this. He's like, he has all these like fake jobs. The shaman can't be rushed. Working with this archetype requires study and perseverance. Think of it like brining or marinating. The content must permeate every fibre of its being. Alright, let's get a card on the shaman then. I'm going with the steampunk deck just because it's been so chatty for me recently. They're showing me the Gilded Reverie as well, the Lenormand deck. Hold on. Oh, the romantic man there, patiently waiting on the bottom of the deck. Tell me about the shaman then. What's the shaman? wishing well, wishing for something, having a dream. It's also wealth. It could be talking about the wealth of information available to us when we connect with the Akashic records, or when we connect with the liminal space, the information that we can get through psychically. It may say that there's a lot of untapped potential here. It may say there's a wealth of knowledge, or something. There's a wealth that's waiting for you to tap into it here. 41 could be a key number for you. Success. Yeah, there's something here. I've seen success before I started the reading. I saw the Star card and the Six of Wands, but both came out together, and which does have an element of healing, right? There's something about success and healing. So I don't know if this is successfully healing, or I don't know if it's being in a position of like some sort of fame or celebrity, or like being well known. It's like being cheered on by people, but something that you're doing is healing to others. It's like being in that position of celebrity or popularity is putting you in a key position to heal something in a community. Is the way that I'm seeing it. It's untapped resources, untapped potential that is tied into this success and abundance and fame. It could be healing something about yourself where you seek fame, healing something about yourself where you covet, you know, applause, ceremony. It's like you want people to see how great you are, something like that. You know, like, and that kind of like North Node Leo need of, you know, I need that fame, I need that attention, I need people to cheer me on, I need that encouragement. Could be. It could be that you're you do some kind of like shamanic healing, which is a route to success for you. My Jupiter placement is Pluto. No, sorry, my Jupiter placement is Scorpio, which is Jupiter talks about wealth and expansion, and Pluto is this taking a deep dive, taking a really deep look at things. So, and also like, you know, things like tarot. So it's like where my success lies is through doing things like tarot. That investigative quality is where my success comes from. So it has that feeling to it. Interesting as well, we've got the Queen. So I want to say there's something there as well about don't shy away from it. If you've got like a natural talent, you know, maybe you are naturally quite, you know, you're one of those people that say, oh, you know, I've always been a bit psychic. You know, I want to say, are you using that resource, or are you shying away from it? Because it could be that you have a natural talent for something that could be very healing to other people, but perhaps you see it as a part of yourself that perhaps you've had to hide as well. It could be that thing of like, you know, you grew up in a certain culture, you grew up in a certain society where, you know, you didn't want to be the weird one. You didn't want to be, you know, the Bruno. If you've watched Encanto, you don't want to be the Bruno of the group. So you don't want to be shunned for, you know, this prophetic quality that you have. So you've hidden it, but it's like that part of yourself wants to come out because it's got healing work to do. I'm spitballing here, but if that resonates, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. You know, trust your own instincts. Like the key thing for this reading is trust the voice within. I'm not in your situation. I don't know your situation. I'm reading cards here. I'm not professionally trained. You know your situation best. What are your instincts saying? What is the voice within telling you? Trust the voice within, unless it's telling you to do something really, really like bad. In which case, go and get help from a professional, right? Like you need help with that. But other than that, like there's something here that you're trying to tap into. Okay, the ring, the infinite, the wheel, the connection. The ring is an image of connectedness. Rather than viewing life as linear, as a series of progressive achievements, talking about achievements here, the ring challenges us to sense the cyclical, infinite nature of our world and experiences. Beginnings and endings fall by the wayside as we practice seeing ourselves as part of the cosmic circularity of creation. For this reason, it's no surprise a ring is worn on the finger to represent eternal love that surpasses time, space, and worldly things. So much can be projected onto this archetypal image. Maybe it is because there's a diamond here and a ring. Maybe somebody's getting a diamond ring. blah blah blah, because it mimics the so much can be projected onto this archetypal image because it mimics the Earth's orbit around our great sun and the intimate bond between two lovers. Sorry, I'm getting the ring to rule them all as well. That's Lord of the Rings. It is the micro and the macro united. This card calls us to deepen our connection with self, other, and the world at large. Meanwhile, there may be a literal ring waiting to adorn your finger. Study the images of the mandala, the unus mundus, and the Ouroboros, and the medicine wheel. Take stock of the jewels you adorn yourself with. Watch out for rings that you wear out of habit that keep you connected to the old you. Interestingly enough, my ring is literally little hearts. So I don't know. That's cute. Just a cute thing to notice. But you see, like through the ring, it's like it's got that kind of like having to thread the eye of the needle. Like it's like aiming for something, right? Aiming for something, but having to kind of like. It's almost like I'm seeing it as like how, you know, when like people jump through a ring of fire, right? It's like there's some kind of, it's like not an obstacle to get through. It's like a there's something that provokes fear. There's something that's scary or feels dangerous. Maybe it is like, you know, like horses who jump through the hoop, like circus horses, you know, like in the olden days they used to like jump through the ring of fire. Everyone kind of seen that, especially with it being armoured. It's like having to jump through this ring of fire. So it's a scary moment. And it's like you want to turn back. You want to go backwards. You want to pull back. So it could be something that you're doing psychically, like psychically going into, like through a portal. So, but that moment is scary. So you pull back. It's like you're reaching through and then it gets too much, like overwhelming. And then you pull back. Something like that going on there. Like perhaps scared of losing yourself, scared of maybe what might come back with you. I don't know. Tell me about the ring. Tell me about the ring. Nope, wrong deck. Tell me about the ring, please. So there's some kind of authority here. There's some kind of institution or authority or establishment. This tower card in this deck, it isn't a tower like in the normal tarot. It's it represents something more like the Hierophant card. So institutions, authority, the rules, being part of a community. I don't know if somebody's feeling like they're institutionalized in some sort of way. The Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords here, the Six of, what are they called? Pointy things, translates to the Six of Swords. It talks about moving on to calmer waters, I'm hearing like finding a safer space, and there's something about battleground. So I don't know if somebody's been in some kind of situation that's felt very authoritative, but it's also felt like it should be a safe place, but it's felt like some kind of battleground. They're showing me just a flash of like the Hunger Games, you know, like the Citadel. There's something missing. Yeah, Six of Swords and the Eight of Cups. There's something missing. There's a piece missing. There's something that's not connected. So I do have this feeling of like walking away from something. Just trying to get a read on this Death card. Could be the ending of this situation. Like this structure's falling. So it's time to walk away from it and find the missing piece, find the thing that wasn't. It's almost like there was no love in that situation, or there was no, you know, somebody who was like emotionally detached, like emotionally numb or something. Like, what's the Death card? What's the Death card, please? Can I get more information on the Death card? Queen of Cups, the Hangman, King of Swords, double Aquarius and Cancer. The King of Swords especially is a very, very cold, very analytical, very this kind of Aquarian energy of being quite above emotions. It's like, okay, I'm feeling something, let's analyse that. It could be like an analyst or a psychologist or something, like a therapist. Something about seeing things from a different perspective, right? Turning something upside down. So the Queen of Cups is a very emotional energy. It's Cancerian energy. In the upright, somebody who's very, very in touch with their emotions. They feel everything, but they know how to deal with it. They know how to ride those waves. In the reverse, it'd be somebody who's emotionally overwhelmed. They can't cope. So it feels like, especially because she's tipping one cup out and holding another cup up. It could be somebody's experienced some kind of emotional loss, but they're emotionally ready to give again, something like that. But this is coming from a very, very emotional place. So it could be that somebody has, right, okay, very specifically, the message that I'm getting very, very, very specifically could be that somebody has experienced some kind of loss. They've had problems dealing with grief. They've experienced some sort of death or ending. They have had a lot of emotions around this. They've been to see a therapist who's been teaching them to analyze their feelings, right? Turn their feelings into thoughts, not to be ruled by their emotions. Ideally, you would have both of these energies. This would be balanced, right? The masculine, the feminine, the emotion and the logical side working together. But still, there's something missing. There's something, because this structure could be a hospital, right? A mental health clinic. Moving on, there's something missing. There's something. It could be like that, a case of somebody had a therapist, but they didn't get on with them, right? It wasn't a match. So somebody's going getting a different therapist. It could be something like that. It doesn't have to be that specific, but that is the very, very specific storyline that I'm kind of getting through there. Okay, so it's interesting. We've got the Death card leading to the Bardo. Let's have a look at the Bardo then. They're giving me, it's a different word, it's barrio. They've done this before with this card. There's a Madonna song, in the barrio, all the streets are paved with fear. I can't understand, at least he was a man. I light this candle and watch it throw tears on my pillow. And if there is a Christ, he'll come tonight and pray for Spanish eyes. So I don't know if that's relevant to anybody. Especially with Madonna, right? The Madonna, rather than the singer Madonna. The liminal, the in-between, the transition. Yeah, there does feel like there's some kind of transition period. It is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which the souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see the relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us. What did I say right at the start of the reading? Or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, and to love the unloved, to let go of all the things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us up to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. Wow. Wow. So I think, again, going back to the importance of meditation, the importance of honouring your body, treating your body healthily, breaking, unhealthy addictions, and, whether that's like eating a certain food that you know is bad for you, makes you feel bad, drinking and then feeling like rough the next day so that you can't handle things properly. It's a perpetual cycle. So it could be something like that, honouring your body, nurturing your body, giving your body the nutrients and the love it really needs, whether that is meditation, green tea, whatever it is. And then finding that soul stone, finding that it could be that this is the kind of therapy that somebody needs. Again, I was quite unhealthy for a while. My mental health wasn't that great. Honouring my body and treating my body better, and doing that meditation work and the yoga was the best thing I ever did for my mental health. I feel so stable now, right? So it could be that somebody's finding that yoga, meditation, mindfulness is actually the missing piece is what they needed. And in that space, perhaps getting the visions, getting visited by loved ones who are on the other side. I have dreams about my granddad and my mum and things now, and it's very, very reassuring. So yeah, maybe, perhaps somebody was a queen in a past life. I don't know, that's fun. a queen and advisor, maybe. Oh, look what's under there as well, the mask, no way. Oh my God, and the comic. Like, look, I can't make this up. You saw these cards, right? Because it's like literally like the mask, right? And I always say this comic isn't wearing a mask. It's like playing the fool, but having darkness behind. Wow, the Judge, the Medallion, the Shadow. Okay. When like spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, and truth. So it could be that somebody experienced a loss. I'm kind of getting father, but it could be mother as well with that card there. Like the loss of a parent, or the loss of somebody in their life who was, you know, perhaps they didn't have an emotional connection with this person, or perhaps this person was overly emotional or emotionally abusive. There's something with emotions and logic, right? It could be that they had an over emotional mother and a very clinical father. And I feel like there's this attempt to, perhaps especially if they were passed away and there were things left unsaid, there could be some sort of attempt to contact them in the afterlife to say the things that weren't said. You know, even if that is just through, you know, vivid dreaming or active dreaming, you know, meditation and visualization. You know, forgiving them, you know, perhaps understanding them better. This is something that happens as we age, when we find ourselves in the shoes, in the position that our parents were in. It's like, oh, I understand, you know, the stress is better. I understand that mindset better. I may disagree with it. I may wish that they treated me differently, but I understand it. And I don't know, has that energy though of like finding the forgiveness in the afterlife. Because the thing is, when somebody's alive, there are things that you can't say to them. There are things that you know, you can never reveal to them. There's things that they don't know. And then when people pass over, when they are in that liminal space, you can just speak to them, you can think of them, you can visualize them, and then they're there with you, and you can say whatever you need to say. But not only that, they have access to that information already. They know as soon as they pass, it's like they get all that information. So like all the things that I couldn't tell my mum, all the secrets that I had, or the you know, the emotional things that I wanted to talk to her about, but I never did. You know, I never opened up about certain things. She knows all that now, right? And she can support me now on the other side. I truly believe that. When dark, torment, dislocation, hallucination, and transience. When the veil between this life and the next is thinned, energy is stirred. This allows the remarkable healing and vision. The bardo is not to be feared. Take advantage of its energy by recognizing what needs to be resolved. Trust that there is a message for you from beyond. Who is speaking? Go ahead and listen. Might be interesting to try and connect to that. Okay, what do the romantic man, Ace of Cups, unconditional love there, and the Ace of Pentacles there as well, some sort of offer. 28 could be a significant number, or 19 could be a significant number as well. I think it's the 19th today, isn't it? There's the Fox. So it could be that you're kind of this patience energy. It's kind of giving me that energy of Tomorrow Never Came. It's Lana Del Rey and what's it? It's something Lennon, John Lennon's son. Is it Yoko Ono and John Lennon's son? Tomorrow never came. I waited on a park bench in the middle of the pouring rain, but tomorrow never came. Could be some sort of misunderstanding with somebody who's passed over. Wheel of Fortune. There's some kind of cycle change. There's something changing. The Wheel of Fortune keeps coming out. You've got the Wheel of Fortune and success here. There's some kind of success on the way, some kind of opportunity, some kind of turn of the wheel, some kind of change of direction. Tell me more on the Wheel of Fortune. Something could have happened when someone was 28, I'm hearing. The Sun, yeah, no, happiness is coming in. Like, this is it. Like this, oh, look at that as well. 10 of Cups and the Sun. No, things are getting better. It's funny that I had that in the reading yesterday. I think I said it, things can only get better by Doreen. When you hit rock bottom, things can only get better. I've been talking about when you hit rock bottom, when you get in that pit of despair, when you really face like the hardest times of your life, when you get to that point where you think, I don't know if I can recover from this, I don't know if I can get back up. But then you do, right? Like tomorrow is another day. You get up, you deal with it, you keep going, and it hurts and it's painful and it's hard, but you do it. And then time passes and you look back and you think, oh my God, I did that. I survived that and I didn't think I would. And then this gives you the opportunity to share these experiences with other people and say, look, you know, reaching out to other people and saying, look, I was in that place. I know exactly what that's like. I know, you know, I'm open to listening to your experience. You know, tell me about your experience, because you don't want to like talk over people. It says me on the internet when you literally can't answer me back. But you know, you can comment, you can let me know if things resonate, and you know, if there's ways that I can improve my language and the way that I talk about things like mental health issues. Again, I'm not professionally trained, but I'm open to learning. I'm interested. So yeah, Page of Swords and Temperate, there's that patience energy again. So it's like watching, waiting, seeing the sun on the horizon is dawning, knowing that a better cycle is coming in for you, but having to be patient, having to wait. You've got the Six of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Sun card over here with unconditional love, Ace of Cups. Like, you can go and Google those cards if you want to go and look up the meanings. That's something very, very good on the horizon, but you need to be patient. Okay, the tear or the tear. I never know if it's the tear or the tear. Here we go. Look at this, the mourning. It could be somebody who's struggled to mourn, struggled to grieve. And sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you can be like, oh, okay, that happened. And then like it can hit you like years later, right? You can really kind of stuff away those feelings, stuff away those emotions. I can't, you know, in the moment it can be, I can't deal with that right now. I'm not emotionally equipped to deal with that pain and that grief and that loss and especially if you've had a difficult relationship with people. It's like, well, like there's a lot of stuff there that I'm not ready to unpack yet. I'm not emotionally stable enough to deal with those emotions right now. So you can pack it away, you can squash it down, you can, you know, bottle it up and cork it and stick it away for later, and then it can come out literally years later, like what, 28 to 41 or something, where it's like, you know, finally those emotions flood, and it can be like a split thing. It can be like a song, somebody can say something, it can remind you of something that somebody used to say. You know, to me, I was in Sainsbury's in the supermarket shopping, and Simply the Best came on, which was a song that my granddad loved. I say it was his favourite song, but you know, it'd come on and he'd be like, you know, swaying and bopping at the bar. And so that song came on, and I thought about my granddad, and I was in floods of tears in the middle of the supermarket, right, on like a Monday midday. I don't know what day it was. So yeah, it can happen suddenly, but with this outpouring of emotion, with this emotional release, when we finally bring that flood up and look at it and analyze it and deal with it, when we finally allow ourselves to grieve for the things we didn't say, grieve for the things we didn't do, grieve for the things that we did and we didn't apologize for, grieve for the lost opportunities, grieved for the missed potential, grieved for the tomorrows that never came. You know, finally that energy clears, right? And that's the process. And it can literally take a lifetime sometimes. It can take multiple lifetimes. So but it's happening here, it's here. The mourning, the release, the rain. Tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotions to run its elemental course. Often the tear is what's needed for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world. Beautiful. Again, that, you know, that mirrors, diamonds, tears, that kind of anything that's like transparent, right? Transparent, but it distorts, can be used as a portal. You know, just the parallels here in this reading are beautiful. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we are reminded of their eternal embrace. I can't believe, like, you know, like I said, this is the song that came through when I asked for a song from my mum. I was like, Mum's on the other side now, I want a song, and she gave me the voice within. We are reminded of their eternal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It is likely this card appears when there is grieving yet to do, a sinking down into disappointment or despair that, once acknowledged, will bring a shimmer of clarity to our dewy eyes. My mum's, she's currently, I'm very flippant about this, so fair warning. It's just my way of dealing. I am crying, I am dealing with my emotions, I am processing, I'm talking, right? I'm doing all the right stuff here. But I am very, you know, I've got a really good connection to spirit. I've got a really good connection to my own inner voice and my own inner, like that groundstone, right? So I feel like I'm coping quite well. But I do make jokes, so fair warning. My mum's currently on ice, right? She's currently in a morgue, and she's been there since Christmas. I'm not very happy about that, right? But tomorrow, finally, you know, with it being Christmas, with it being this time of the year, and with it being COVID, there's been, you know, a few delays. But finally, tomorrow she's getting cremated, and it's funny. It's the name, like, David Bowie's coming through, because my stepdad David, he's coming to take me out for a coffee, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a really nice day, and I'm excited. I'm excited for her to be cremated, because to me, she's going to be released from the body that she was trapped in towards the end there. You know, she was very, very unwell. She was on a lot of morphine, a lot of drugs, flying around in the liminal. So she was already halfway there, I think, anyway. But that body was no longer fit for purpose for her. That vehicle, right, was no longer fit for purpose. So, yeah, I'm happy that... because to me, that body is not my mother. That body is what was trapping the spirit of my mother at the end there. And I'm happy that, you know, she's going to be fully released from that. I can scatter the ashes, and she's free, right? She's in the liminal. She's always there for me. She's always by my side. She's always the voice within now. She's not going anywhere, right? She's everywhere. She's constant. She's my mum. Her eternal embrace is always there. That's how I feel about it. So it's interesting, like, different cultures and the way different cultures approach you know, death and loss and grief. Like, I think, you know, the film Coco, if you are grieving and you want to have a brilliant film to watch that's really going to unplug those emotional corks, Coco, it's a Disney movie. It's beautiful. I may go and watch that myself as well. So yeah, perhaps this is a reading for me. I don't know. It feels like there's a lot of me in this reading. But again, shared experiences. When we talk about our experiences, when we talk about what we're going through, when we talk about our own neurotic thoughts, am I crazy? You know, it's helpful. It's beneficial to others. And even if I am crazy, right? Even if none of this is real, it's all in my imagination. It's beneficial for me. It's helpful for me, and it's grounding me, and it's making me. It's bringing me a lot of comfort and joy, good tidings of comfort and joy. Sorry, they gave me a song. So yeah, if you're good crazy, then roll with it, is what I say. Everybody's a little bit crazy here. When light, melody, melancholy, and flowing through. I love that. Melancholy as a lightness, because to me, melancholy, I think of like... May the melancholy God protect me. That's a line from Twelfth Night. Orsino. No, it's not Orsino. The fool says it to Orsino. May the melancholy God protect you. He'll make you a doublet of changeable taffeta. It's such a wonderful, like difficult to unravel quote, but it's one of my favourite quotes. The melancholy god is the god of death. It's Hades, Pluto, right? And I talk about this quite a lot. In Greece and Rome, especially Rome, they had Dispater, who, these are all kind of equivalent gods. Dispater, Pluto, Hades. The god of the underworld. He was a benefactor. He was compassionate. He was probably one of the most well-behaved gods out of the lot of them. You know, comparing to his brother Zeus, who everybody's like, oh, he's the one that's up in the sky. He must be a great guy. No. So yeah, Hades. He was very responsible. He was very practical. He had a job to do, right? And his job was to process the souls in the underworld, to make sure that, you know, chaos didn't reign on land, you know, that there was a purpose to death. And his job was putting the nutrients in the soil so that the plants could grow. His job was putting riches and metals and ores and jewels in the earth to be mined. So it really was, they were much more in touch with that kind of birth-death cycle. You know, the leaves fall from the trees, they turn into the mulch, they feed new trees and new growth. Yeah, it's this plutonic energy. It's not an energy to be feared at all. It's actually very compassionate, and that's the way I feel about what happened with my mum at the end there. You know, her body was causing her a lot of pain. Her body was trapping her. She couldn't get out of bed, and I think sometimes the endings come in as in certain situations it's right, in some situations it's not right in others. I think sometimes the endings come as a gift, as a compassionate gift. And now she can go wherever she wants, right? Until she's born again. She can fly through the stars. She can go to Africa. She never travelled, my mum. She was always England based, and she loved elephants. Her elephants were her favourite animal. I remember my granddad went to Egypt, and you know, on a cruise in Egypt, and a lot of my family, my granddad, my uncle, both of whom are on the other side with her now, they lived in South Africa for a while. So I love the idea of like my uncle and my granddad taking my mum on a tour of all these places that she'd never been to, you know, showing her where they lived in South Africa, and, you know, taking her on a cruise up the Nile and showing her the elephants, like, and just being able to travel. Like, I love that idea for my mum, that she's free now. She can go wherever she wants to, because she's not trapped in that aging sick body anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. It's food for thought, right? I don't know. And I like that I've got this space, this little corner of the internet to talk about these things, because it's therapeutic for me as well, to be able to open up and share these weird thoughts, right? That, you know, they make people uncomfortable. People are uncomfortable talking about death. People are uncomfortable talking about grief. And I think that we should open up more as a society and make it something that we can laugh about, make it something that we can share. A friend of mine is also, he's lost his dad at the same time, and for a minute there I was like, well, I don't want to talk about losing my mum, because I don't want to take away his platform. I don't want to take away his moment of opening up with like, oh yeah, me too, you know, and my flippancy. But you know, it's nice to have somebody else who's going through something similar, and we can share, you know, what's happening in funeral arrangements and things like this. So I don't know, it's helpful to have someone to talk to, and maybe you do need to go and find an advisor to help you deal with that kind of grief. All right, should we close out this with let's get a message for the tear. Message for the tear, please. It's like this to me, and my eyes are landing on the sun. This is it for me now. Like, my mum's free, my mum's in the sun, she's got that freedom of the sun card, that happiness, that eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. She was a Scorpio, but she was the most beautiful. She was the Queen of Cups kind of Scorpio, you know, the High Priestess kind of Scorpio, who was like so much love and so much compassion and so gentle and so kind. And the only time those tiger colours would come out would be when she was defending me or somebody that she loved, you know. Then that's when that Scorpio sting in the tail would come out. But other than that, she was the most beautiful, kind woman. And yeah, I really think she's, wherever she is, she's dancing, she's happy, she's with her family, you know, her family on the other side. And I do think she's with me. The tear. Yeah, coffin. If somebody's lost a child, that's especially very difficult. You know, it's not for me to tell you how to grieve. That's one of the most painful, difficult things we can experience, the loss of a child if we're a parent. So you know, that's very personal to you, and if you're dealing with that, that's, you know, for you to figure that out, you know, trusting that voice within. Yeah, coffin, closure, endings. I do feel like it could be a funeral closure. Being judged. It's funny, I'm talking about how wonderful my mum was and what a wonderful person she was. You know, she really had, you know, one of those bright, pure souls. And you want to say, if my mum's soul was weighed against a feather, you know, it would be, she would definitely have got through the gates, right? She would have definitely had a beautiful afterlife, because she was such a brilliant woman, much kinder than me. So yeah, Nine of Pentacles as well. Something about independence there. It's funny, I was talking about Egypt as well. Yeah, I think that's confirmation for me. Yeah, that she's gone on a Nile cruise, right? The Empress, the mother. Yeah, the mother, the Empress. Divine Feminine. All four Queens of the Tarot. Absolutely beautiful reading. Okay, so let's get... I'm feeling Spirit Animal Oracle for this one. Time to heal. Yeah, okay. Message, please. I saw a rabbit as well the other day in one of my dreams. Now is a lucky time. Interesting. We've got this Wheel of Fortune, the Empress and the rabbit. The Empress is normally depicted with rabbits on the card because it's a symbol of potential for growth and potential for abundance and very, very fast, rapid growth. So I do feel like there's something here where there's an opportunity for rapid growth, rapid expansion in something. It could also be talking about fertility. I'm getting a lot of messages that somebody's pregnant. So mother, wife, you know, if that's you, if you've got a partner, you know, check that out. You could have, you could be having a baby. Baby could be on the way. Now is a lucky time. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune, absolutely. Hugely lucky time. I've just shuffled again. The Snake Spirit is back on the bottom. Time to heal. 49. And maybe somebody lost their mother in childbirth. Gosh, that must be something that brings in a lot of guilt. Now is a lucky time. A sunny meadow calls. Oh my God, sunny meadow calls. Like, oh, I love this reading. A sunny meadow calls and rabbit spirit appears to lead you out of the dark warren and into the light so that you can participate in a fertile and beautiful experience. It may seem safe below ground, but the magic happens when you come out and take the risk of being vulnerable and co-creating something new. You are being invited into a new life that you have no experience with, but have no fear. What did I say? It's like somebody's going through, it's like the fear is the thing that's stopping them taking a leap of faith, because it's like a ring of fire. It's like a portal. Somebody has to get through it. But it's like you will get through it. Today is also a time to be fruitful and productive as you enjoy Rabbit Spirit's sunny and prolific energy. At this time, whatever you intend to bring to life will find fertile ground. There are no mistakes, really, when you are co-creating with Spirit, so let new ideas spring to the surface, knowing that now is a lucky time of tremendous possibility. I'm getting told to get a few more words as well. And then I'll maybe get one more song and close out the reading. Now is a lucky time. Tell me more about this expansion energy. Now is a lucky time. Babies, rabbits, Empress energy. What messages need to come through here, please? What are you doing? I can't get the think. What do you need to think about? What are you thinking about? What you think about, you bring about. So focus on the positive, not the negative. What you think about, you bring about. 49 could be a significant number again. Could be somebody's age. Somebody could have been born in 49. Think, darling. Think, darling. Maybe your mother called you darling. Maybe your mother's saying. Maybe this is the voice of your mother saying, think, darling, think. I don't want to say that flippantly. That's something that's quite a serious thing for me to say. So again, trust your voice within. Am I just a tarot card reader who's, you know, grasping at straws because of the theme of the reading, or does that resonate for you? Are you thinking, yeah, no, that is a message for me? Don't take it if you don't trust it, right? I don't want to take advantage of anybody. Twilight. Maybe it's something about the book Twilight, the film Twilight. Maybe you think about your darling at twilight. Like that liminal between time, right? Between light and dark. The space between. Space between. Those. One more. Storm. Okay, so whatever those words mean for you, I just feel faithful as well as I was putting the bag down, and we'll get a song, hopefully not flashing my spotty face. I'm gonna go and have a shower after this and get my makeup on. I love that song so much. I want to listen to it. It's when my uncle died, and my uncle was called David. This was one of the songs that would come through from him. I'd ask for a song and I'd get that, and I always felt like it was my uncle, you know, like supporting me, saying I'm here for you, you know, when things go wrong, I'm here for you. So two very personal songs coming through in this reading. Okay. A song please to close out this reading. Before We Disappear by Chris Cornell. Time ain't nothing if it ain't fast, taking everything you ever had and giving nothing in return, but a cold bed in the quiet earth. You can't make this up. If there's a door to every cell, a pearl inside of every shell, then how hard can it be to share your life with me? How hard can it be to rise with me each morning? I know that it feels like we will live forever, but I fear that time will hide the years. Life ain't nothing if it ain't hard. It will show you who you really are, knock you down when you get too tall, till you spin around in a free fall. But somewhere out past the storm lies the shelter of your heart. I'm not the one to waste my time searching for some silver lining, but somewhere out there past the storm lies the shelter of your heart. So hold on tightly, my dear, before we disappear. The higher truth. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Look after yourselves. Do that self-care. You know, if you need to go and speak to someone, if you need to reach out and get support, absolutely do so, no matter who that is for you, right? You know, whether it's a friend, a family member, whether it's somebody on this side of the plane or on the other side, right? You know, you just want to speak out to the universe, speak out to, you know, picture those people that you loved and speak to them, ask them for help, ask them for guidance, and then look for the signs, be open to receiving those signs, you know, be open to what the voice within is telling you. Obviously, do things safely, don't do anything that's, don't go let Venom tell you to go biting people's heads off, you know, and eating cars. That's not going to be good for anyone, you know, including you. You know, he only eats guitars. Maybe some of you play guitars. I was getting this thing about six strings. It was in a song, but I can't remember which one it was. So that could be for somebody. Music could be very healing for somebody. I want to get another song. I'm really getting the urge to get another song. Hollow, Tori Kelly and Big Sean. I don't want to be the last man standing. I don't want to be the lonely one. Picking petals when the party's over is not any fun, because I'm fragile and you know this, so hold me. Wrap me in love, fill up my cup. One of my favourite songs by Tori Kelly is Coffee. Empty and only your love can fill up my cup, because I'm hollow. I don't want to be the first one folding. I don't want to be the joker heart. Tell me, darling, will you understand me and not show me your cards? Sorry, shown you quite a few cards today. Because I'm paper thin and you make me whole again. So hold me, wrap me in love, fill up my cup. Look, I know you've been up all at night, trying to sleep with one eye open, crying out enough tears you could fill up the Atlantic Ocean. No fun being home alone. We learnt that from Macaulay Culkin. I don't know, that movie was pretty fun. So I'm just waiting on you. I've been calling, pick me up. I know you need to pick me up. I know you're coming to grip me up. You're my big baby girl, no sippy cup. All right, nice. There's quite a long rap, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but Hollow, Tori Kelly and Big Sean. All right, I hope this reading was helpful to at least one of you. Long readings this week, but maybe people need that. I don't know. Everything's for a reason. So I just roll with it. I just trust it. Do take really good care of yourselves today. Whatever you need, you know, practice that self-care, practice that self-love. If you need you know, a day off, then like you do whatever you need to do. But you are strong, right? You are you know, you can find that center. It's there for you. Trust the voice within. And I will see you again soon, my lovelies. Do take care of yourselves. I think maybe I'm going to get a cup of coffee before I jump in that shower, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.